Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. With the market currently fearful, there's been a noticeable uptick in the publishing of crypto market articles writing scary stories about XRP specifically. And I'm going to address some of the fear they've been generating and debunk it as, as the actual nonsense that it is, frankly. XRP has never been better positioned in its entire 13-year history. But look at some of these headlines, like this one, for example. We'll get to this a little bit later in the video. 94% of XRP holders are in profit. Has the price topped? Or this one. They're both from Cointelegraph. XRP's price downtrend could continue. Here's 4 reasons why. So whatever the market's doing directionally, they lean into that. Because they know whatever it's doing, that's what the masses are going to want to see. It's for the clicks. You do not need to be fearful here. Nobody can see into the future and what XRP's price is going to be, including me. So we should talk reasonably about what is most probable. And if you talk about what's most probable, it's very clear. The answer is XRP rocketing to the upside in face-melting fashion, the likes of which we haven't seen since the beginning of 2018. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So take a look at this headline from the Crypto Basic. XRP profit-taking volume hits $375 million, highest since December 2024 rally. And you'll see a big part of what we're getting at here is that there are some serious long-term holders, even people or institutions, whoever it ends up being, holding longer than me. And I've been here since late 2017. There are people that have been here longer than me that are selling XRP. They're taking profit. Have they given up? Well, that's the question. That's the scary sounding part, right? Well, piece reads as follows. Data shows XRP profit-taking volume by long-term holders recently reached a new yearly peak, mirroring the distribution trend from December of 2024. Notably, Glassnode, on-chain analytics firm, took to X today to reveal the extent of profit-taking trades by investors of the top 5 assets over the past month. According to the market analytics platform, the recent market downturn, which has resulted in the global crypto market cap losing over $200 billion over the past 3 days, was due to these profit-taking trades. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of them. Here's XRP first, and you can see what they're highlighting here quite easily. And not surprisingly, as the price of XRP surged, that enticed people, some people that have been holding for many years, to take some profit. Look, and you can see it. And you can see the warmer colors like orange down here indicate people who have been holding XRP for a shorter time period. Orange specifically here indicates they've been holding XRP 1 to 3 months. With the cooler colors towards the top, like looks like green, maybe teal, blue, and purple here, been holding longer, more like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So those are people that have been holding a long time. And so you can see it is true. Including last month as XRP hit a new all-time high, $3.65. You can see there was some selling. But this is normal. This is normal for every single coin, quite literally. Here's Ethereum just as one additional example, but you can go to any coin and you're going to find that this is true. As it runs, you're going to see people that take profit, right? So then we're going to have to question, okay, to what degree does this actually matter? So sit tight. But you can see the same things happen with Ethereum. These charts, they're going back about 2.5 years, a little more than that. And you can see as Ethereum's run, what's happened here. As Ethereum is run, bam, it just started, just a result in people that have been holding for a longer period of time finally taking some risk off the table. So it's normal, to be clear, it's normal for long-term holders to take, at a minimum, partial profits here. It doesn't mean that these long-term holders have completely exited their positions. And it doesn't mean that long-term holders have lost confidence in XRP as an investment opportunity. Frankly, given that XRP fundamentals have never been stronger and ecosystem metrics look healthy as ever, it would be silly to read anything negative into this. Profit taking from long-term holders is both normal and healthy, and also expected. You should expect this to happen. I'm going to be one of these people eventually when I'm sufficiently enticed. I just need the price to go a little bit higher. When price starts to get closer to $5, maybe I'll take a little bit. Maybe I take a little bit of that quote unquote risk off the table. Maybe I'll sell 5% of my total XRP holdings. So then I'd be in a category because I've been holding, again, like I said, since 2017. So I'd be one of those longer term holders selling. Does it mean that I've lost confidence? No, it means I'm taking some damn risk off the table and realizing profit, because XRP at that point will be a ridiculously outsized percentage of my overall net worth. And I think that's true of a lot of people. So it's quite normal here. But still, you get the scary headlines. Of course, you get the scary headlines. Like this one I cited earlier, 94% of XRP holders are in profit. Has the price topped? Oh, I don't know, Cointelegraph. Has the price topped? Did it top in November? On November 17th, 2024, Cointelegraph, when you published this article titled XRP Price Retreats 20% After Hitting a Multi-Year High. Is the top in? So I don't know, Cointelegraph. Is it the top here, or was it the top when you scared people on November 17th of last year? And you know what the price of XRP was when they wrote this scary sounding article? The peak at the time was $1.26. And they're asking if the top is in. Well, bitch, it went a lot higher than that, almost 3 times higher than that. Now how you gonna act? Jesus Christ, this is why we cannot have nice things. And so here, they're highlighting some data. It's this chart on the screen right here. I can make it full screen for a second here. And so look, and it's showing XRP, it's the percent supply and profit. That's what this chart is here. And it should not be surprising as the price goes up, you're going to see that there's a larger percentage of humans as a result that are in profit. This isn't exactly rocket science, but to what degree does this matter? Should we be concerned? Because they're writing here that this is a macro top indicator. I mean, look at this. They I think it was one of these bullet points. Yeah, here we go. XRP's rally to $3 has pushed 94% of supply into profit, a level that historically marked macro tops. Okay, so should we be freaking out here? Here's the chart again. Well, let me just say, if you heeded Cointelegraph's warning about a high percentage of XRP holders in profit this past November, you would have missed out on the all-time high in January and another new XRP all-time high just last month at $3.65. Also, if you used this metric to determine when to sell and abided by it in the moment it flashed a high number, then you would have sold XRP around 30 cents to maybe 40 cents in the first half of 2017, right? I mean, after all, most XRP holders were in profit, right? And that was the all-time high. The all-time high before that was briefly 6 cents, but most of the time before that, XRP was about half a penny. So, gets up to 30 to 40 cents in the first half of 2017, market's going ballistic. That would have been, my God, we're in trouble, right? But you see, those who held roughly, a little over half a year from that point, the ones that rode it out to the early 2018 high, they got a price of $3.35. So you can see here back in 2017, yeah, it's true. The percent in profit was very high, and it happened, not surprisingly, as the price of XRP exponentially increased. But then what? So it was really high, and then you move sideways for half a year price-wise. That's what the black line is. And then the green line was kind of coming down a bit, up and down, up and down. But none of this should be surprising. That's what you would expect to see as XRP price consolidates and then rockets. This is historically normal. What I'm telling you is that didn't mark the top. They're pretending like that's a top indicator. Well, in and of itself, it sure as hell isn't. Look, in reality, it shouldn't be surprising that the higher the price of an asset, the higher it goes, the more people take profit. And yes, it can coincide with peaks. Okay, sure. But what Cointelegraph fails to point out is that high percentages of wallets in profit, that can actually persist for quite a while before the markets will find a top. That can persist for quite a while. And history shows us that for XRP, that can easily mean over half a year. Also, regrettably, and I mean very, very regrettably, Cointelegraph doesn't point out that XRP historically has found its market cycle top when alt season is in full swing and every single coin is running. Now that, watching for the entire asset class going, which has marked the actual top for XRP historically, That's a far better top indicator than just looking at the percentage of accounts that are in profit and then drawing a conclusion based solely on that. Cointelegraph is happy to scare you, though, and they have a track record of crapping all over XRP for like the last decade. So, I'm here to fix the problem. You are welcome. So, yeah, this can coincide with it, but that in and of itself absolutely does not tell you at the top. The percent supply and profit, that does not tell you if the top is in. It can coincide with it, but also, as you can see on the screen here, a lot of times that percentage is really high and it didn't mark the top. Well, how about that? What marks the top historically with 100% accuracy, at least at this point in 2025, for its entire 13-year history? What marks the actual top? Alt season. Have we had alt season? The answer is no. You little bitches at Cointelegraph. Stop doing this. Jesus Christ, it's why we can't have nice things. It's all right. I fixed the problem right, though. It really steams my vegetables. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.